Who is this? Who is this? It's gone. It's all gone. It's all missing. I shaved it off. Hey Alexa, what day is it?
It's Wednesday, July 19th.
It's Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. 3 days ago I shaved off my beard. Well, 2 days ago I shaved off my beard. Yes, 2 days ago I shaved off my beard. I had to think about that. And, I don't know. I don't want to say that it was a nervous breakdown, but it's basically what it was. I looked in the mirror and I felt old. Just looking at myself with a big long beard, and I was like, oh man, I feel terribly old. I just shaved it off. Straight up, just whomp. I almost even cut off my hair too. I was on a roll, and then I just stopped myself. I was like, no. I'm already a little upset that I lost my beard. Because with my beard, I had my wisdom, and now I have this. So, now life right now has been hectic. I think for a lot of people, not just me. I don't want to go into the details per se. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But life's been getting a little out of hand lately, and I don't want to talk about the bad parts. Let's jump into the good parts. Let's get into the good parts. Or actually, more so, I don't want to get into the good parts. I want to get into the complicated parts. All right? Let's start with Machina and Magic. What about the Definitive Edition? Nope, we're done. We're not making it anymore. Nope. Definitive Edition is done. Like, I'm stopping. Because we're making second edition. Second edition. That is right. But wait. Wasn't Definitive Edition supposed to be second edition? Kinda. It's a little weird seeing my face and my facial reactions. It still doesn't feel like me. You know? I mean, I can look into my eyes and I can be like, and I can tell, like, that's me, you know. But it's a little, I want to use the word dysphoric, you know. When you have an identity of yourself and how you look, you know, because you've seen yourself in the mirror, you know, the same way for a couple years. So seeing myself like this, I'm not used to it. And I have to, like, align myself to see, okay, there's the features that remind me that I'm myself. But what the heck is happening with the Definitive Edition? Why are we making a second edition now? Well, that's because we're changing some rules. Like, a big portion of the rules. Actually, not a big portion. We're going to be changing feats and characteristics. They're going to be smushed together. They're going to be called talents or knacks, depending on which game we play. This came from what had happened working on Tarkon, which is our sci-fi setting. And this merger and how they will be handled will allow character creation to be 50 times faster. On top of that, it should make the game just that much easier. You know, you shouldn't have to reference too many things. The feats themselves aren't going away, and neither are most of your favorite characteristics. They're just being balanced differently now. And some things are being pushed together. Some things are getting a few renamings. So everybody who's a huge fan of the Nimble Toes characteristic will look forward to the not-so-silly name Combat Agility. But I'm actually going to take a poll on that, so we might not actually change that name. That's we'll see. We'll see how people think about it. But there's a lot of good stuff coming from this change that should make the game that much better. It should make the game that much easier to run and that much easier to play. And it's stuff I should have done basically day one, but I didn't do. Because you get blinded by your creations, right? And that's that. So it's a good change, and it's probably the last change. I say the last change, not like there's always going to be micro changes. Like that's neither here nor there. Errata will come out, and there will be balance changes. And with the second edition of Machina and Magic, I'm going to print updates. So the core mechanics to Machina and Magic after second edition shall never change. If it does, it's third edition. We'll put it that way. And I don't plan on making a third edition for a long time. With the recent big change that we're making, it helped me sort of solidify everything else. And it reminded me that everything else about Machina and Magic is as solid as it's probably going to get. There are a few flavor changes that can be made. With Tarkon, the armor system is going to be a little easier, but also different. Machina and Magic will keep the same armor system for better or for worse. There will also be simple rules put in, so people can just use the simple rules. They don't have to use the complicated rules. Well, it's not complicated, it's just, there's just a lot to it. You know, people want to make custom armors. The one thing I hate about not having my beard, and this is because I gained weight over the years, and you can see it. I got the double chinner shows up. It does. It shows up. It shows up like this. When I look straight ahead, it's not so bad. You know, pull back, it's not so bad, but it's there. It's annoying. And trust me, I'm sure it was a lot worse about a year ago. I was not fitting into clothes a year ago, so hopefully with this new position at the bakery and working a different set of muscles, it should be good for me, but then at the same time the work isn't that strenuous, so I am with kind of recent promises to friends, I'm going to try to keep my health a little better. It's mostly just an energy thing, because I need as much energy as I can get to work on Machina Magic. So it might lead me to possibly lifting weights. I need to not... basically, I don't need to do leg day. And I know that sounds dumb. Like, oh yeah, you should always do leg day. And it's like, but I work on my feet all the time. I'd love to do leg day, but fuck you. Maybe once I lose some weight. But I'd like to get in on that, and me and a buddy of mine are going to finally actually start doing some stuff about that, and we'll see how that goes. Since I got you here, and you're with me, and what you don't know is I'm not wearing any pants. So hold on. Smooth transition. All right, I've got pants on, so I can walk outside. Is there any way I can just rotate the camera? Just not something I can do mid-video? Okay. Well, hopefully you can see that. And they are not growing well. But they are growing. They're just not growing well. Not as well as I thought they would. Not as well as I thought they would. So, I don't know. I'm not taking this growing thing super seriously. I think next year I'm going to take it a lot more seriously than I am now. And me and my friend Matt are going to plan out a garden, etc. for that. It's a matter of getting there. But it's nice outside right now. Good old 72 degrees with a small breeze, and that morning dew feeling that I actually do appreciate. And yeah, So anyways, I got us all off topic. Because I was talking about Machina Magic, right? And I think I'm going to go ahead and make the second edition. So it means that originally when we were deciding, hey, we're going to start a Kickstarter in October. No, we're not. Maybe in January. Another positive thing, if I haven't mentioned it yet, we have a new artist, which is great. So, what did I step on? I stepped on a rusty nail, for real, actually. Yeah, okay. And I didn't poke myself with it, it's just... Oh, great. Whew. Alright, anyways, so, yeah, with the second edition and the new artist, this book's going to be a banger. And on top of that, next year, we should be working on Tarkon. So I want to see, this is what I want to see for the timeline, especially because I'm getting better as a writer. I'd love to see Machina Magic in the works next year. I want to see Machina Magic in its more final stages, January of next year. I want to see Tarkon in its later stages at the end of next year. So, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to start pumping out these core rule books every year. And the benefit of Tarkon is that I'm going to have multiple writers. It's not just me. It'll be me, it'll be Matt, it'll be Dylan. The core three, and then we'll have Siri as our artist. And Siri's Siri's an awesome dude, art-wise. And hopefully he'll stick around for Tarkon. Right now I have him for Machina Magic, and that's going to cost me some money, and hopefully I can reap up some of that money in the Kickstarter. And I might have to call in on some investments just to have some art money, because this dude's legit and within our budget, and hopefully we can keep him around. It seems like he wants to stick with the projects, so that would be hella cool because he's a better artist than me. So Machina Magic, the core rulebook, may actually end up being lesser amount of pages with the merger of feats and characteristics, so it might not be 475 pages. I don't know. Or I make up for it in lore. How's life been treating me, huh? I don't know. Work's hard. Working in the new position, but also working more hours. Also having my hours switched around, which is super annoying. And also not sleeping, which is something I do now. So I don't sleep, except for when I do. And that's just kind of miserable in general. I don't like the heat. I have an air conditioner at home, and it's not enough. I need to buy another one, another window unit. I bought 3 window units from a friend of mine, and none of them worked. So he was just like, yeah, you can take these 3 window units, if as is. And none of them worked, which was really disappointing and was not cool, because I would have figured at least one of them would have worked. But I ended up buying a new one. Well, a friend of mine bought me a new one, and then yeah, I need to buy a new one. I need to buy another one for my room, and that should handle it. It's just one's not enough. One's barely enough, but when it hit like 90 that last week, it was like, it's a little warm in here. Just a little bit, I can keep the house in the 80s, but I need to keep the house in the 70s. So, and I'm trying not to blow out the air conditioner by having it run all the time. And that's kind of the big thing. I need to start doing a lot of stuff here for my mental health, because recently just listening to people's bullshit has kind of just made me mad. So I need to just stop it. I'm tired of listening to people's negativity in the world. I think a lot of us are. I think that's why a lot of us move away from social medias. But I'm really enjoying Mastodon, actually, in comparison to Twitter. Actually, since another recent batch of bird flyers left Twitter, and they started going to other places, and Mastodon, or at least Dice Dock Camp and the other furry ones that I use. They've been popping. New people have been there, and I'm enjoying it. And it's more the type of social media that I want. I get, because I'm in a lot of nerd spaces, so I see a lot of nerd things. And those nerds follow other nerds, which follow other nerds, which follow other nerds. And then you start following the right people, and your feed is full of art you want. It's full of topics you want. And it's full of cool, rad people that actually respond and reply to the shit that you talk about. So, all of that's really exciting. I've been able to get more people into the Discord server, which is pretty cool, all things considered, through Mastodon. I have not looked into Scribble. I have not looked into the blue one that I'm dropping blank on. I have not looked into any of that stuff, and I don't really care, because I don't. The whole stupidity with Facebook being like, well, if you guys aren't going to abide by all rules, you're not going to be federated. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, cool. Don't care. Nobody I want to talk to's on there. Why? Because everybody chose a Mastodon account on an instance that represented them. I chose Dice Dock Camp. Alright? That's tabletop games and tabletop role-playing games. And that represents me. And the people in the local timeline is nice. And I think, honestly, if you're going to get into Mastodon, you're going to have to surf a bit. You're going to have to make several accounts in several different instances. And you're going to have to surf for a bit until you find the right people. Until you find the right local timeline. You know. And I did. Dice Dock Camp has a decent local timeline. And not that everything needs to be from the local timeline. As a matter of fact, I hardly ever use it. Mostly because I friended a bunch of people from the local timeline that I thought were pretty cool, and I basically grabbed those people then and there. But sometimes I do like to, on the occasion, check the local timeline, because that's how you check trends. At least in the tabletop scene. So, that's that. I miss my beard. I look young. I'm looking young. I'm not as fat. I'm not as fat anymore as I was. Look at that. That's much better. That's so much better. Especially because I was like out to. I could still push myself out and make myself look bad. But no, I used to be pretty bad. It's not drooping anymore, you know. It still is drooping. It's not drooping anymore. It used to be really bad, and my 2XL shirts were not fitting. So, and that's problematic, because there's not too many more X's you can go and be a normal person. So it's, yeah. So I'm trying to take things more serious in that regard, and my house is an absolute mess, and. Actually, it's not that bad, but I'm not going to show it to you. I am going to go back inside. I'm not going to show you the mess of my house that I didn't even bother painting any of the rooms, despite the fact that I said that I would, because it's just so much effort. So much effort to paint. On top of the fact that, you know, all sorts of other stuff. Actually, I kind of want to go back outside because it was nice and cool out there, but I also need to get ready for bed. And this is kind of like bedtime for me. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:29 a.m.
Yeah, 6:29. Like, I'm usually in bed 29 minutes ago. So, that's that. And, try to stay well, everybody. Try to stay well and good. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Donna Rose and the Wayward Souls, the band I was in last year, as many of you may know, that our guitarist Jim was diagnosed with liver cancer It was debilitating for him, and we unfortunately had to drop out of the band and end it. But it's not the end of us in its entirety. We are doing some recordings, and I've got some practicing I gotta do, because hopefully in the next 2 weeks I'll be recording some songs, and it looks like they've already made their first recordings with the guitarist and the drums and the bass. So they're waiting for me, and then after me should be the singer, though I think it should be the singer and then me. I play accompaniment, so I'm going to go and ask them if they can just go ahead and do the singing first before me, because that way I can accompany to the singer and the guitarist. But it's just, that's where my specialties lie, is in accompaniment. Alright, I'm going to bed for real. And I'm sorry that I lost my beard. I know a lot of you that were in the Dalio Beard fan club that were like writing me a lot of fan mail about the beard and asking if the beard was okay and all that. I know a lot of you are mourning and you're in grieving, and I am sorry for your loss. I too am in grieving, but it will be back. And people have started placing bets. My friend Dylan says it'll be an inch in a year, and it'll be 2 inches, or sorry, it'll be an inch in 6 months, and 2 inches in 6 more months. So that's his vote. I've got people saying half an inch and another half an inch. One person tried to split the difference at 3/4. I had another person say that it'll be 2 inches for the first 6 months, and then another inch in the last 6 months. I think that's a little rough. If I had to make a prediction, and this is just my prediction, I'm thinking that in the first 6 months, from lower chin, or from lowest chin down, all right, we're probably going to get ourselves a solid centimeter. I'm thinking maybe a half an inch and half an incher. And I think we'll probably get the full inch by the end of the year. So it'll be a full, well, it'll be more like a 3/4. Sorry, no, I regret my statement. 3/4. We'll get 3/4 of an inch from bottom chin down. We'll get 3/4 of an inch by the end, well, not the end of the year, but after a whole year. So by July of next year, my beard should be that low. I think so. And it might even be faster. I don't know. I'm actually trying to look up methods to get it back and all that. So, all right, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed for real. Thank you for stopping by, but you're gonna have to go. See ya. Yeah. Go on downstairs. Yep. All right, goodbye.